Alright there, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Another video on Old Red, our Project 1983 Peterbilt 359. Today's project is we're going to put some fenders on this truck. I think we're going to go ahead and start on the pusher axle. Work our way back. Done. Just kidding. Okay, so I've got this whole quarter fender mount here. I want to take that off, get it out of the way. You know, initially I had ordered some of the minimizer mounts to go with these brackets, and I kind of didn't really like them. I didn't like the way that they looked, and I wasn't all that happy, so I went ahead and I ordered some of these buyer's products mounts, and that's what we're going to use. I've used these mounts before, and I like them. Okay, I'm just kind of looking and seeing where these things kind of fit, where I like them or where I don't like them. Seeing where they run into stuff. I mean, as you can see, when you set this on a bolt hole, if you kind of rotate it around, it brings your, your distance out. And I'm thinking for this fender mount, I'm going to go around here. I'd really like to grab it lower, but kind of anywhere else I go with it, this front bracket here kind of gets in the way. So we're probably going to go either go with, well, I could even drill a hole, probably drill a hole right there, get me down a little bit lower. Might drill another hole for that. But we're going to do the front one first, and I think going right where that quarter fender bracket was is going to be our best spot for the pusher axle there. Then we're going to kind of do the same thing with the front mount. Just kind of set it on here, line it up to some bolt holes, and I think I like using that bolt hole right there. That'll get me nice and low on that fender. I think that'll work good. Alright, so that's the first of the fenders mounted up. Show you a couple of things that I really kind of like about these buyer's mounts, why I went with these. For one, they're really versatile. The way that they're made, you can almost always find a place to make it work. You've got a little bit of adjustability in where you drill your holes, so if you drill something off just a little bit, you've still got a little bit of fudge room there. And then the other thing is, these brackets are locked down onto this tube with an Allen wrench. Now, some of you guys that may have run these kind of fenders before, that you know that they can kind of make it a pain to get to certain stuff, regular maintenance type stuff. While these, you take these 4 Allen set screws loose, and you can literally just pull the whole fender right off the mounts. Get it out of your way so that you can work on your truck. So that's one of the things I really like about these. See, I can even do this one-handed. Not the easiest one-handed, but possible, sort of. Get it on there. All right, get that one. There we go. There, one-handed. A lot easier two-handed, but get this fender where we want it. Lock down these Allen set screws. And then that's on there. Just got 5 more to go. Alright, so I've got this fender spaced up off the drive tire, the suspension's dumped. And I marked which huck bolts I need to cut off for the holes I'm going to use for my fender brackets. I'm going to go ahead and pull this fender off and then cut those off. Alright, so my mounts are just loosely in place here. Got my spacers back in place. We're going to set this fender back on there. Alright, now I suppose you guys should pretty much have the idea of what we got going on here now. Just going to keep on plugging away at this. I got a lot more to do. Alright, so I got 4 of the fenders on here. You're going to have to figure out where the mounts are going to go on this rear axle. And I'm going to have to drill a hole somewhere back in here for the rear mount. To do that, I'm going to have to take the tires off. And looking at this, I suspected I'd want to do this, but I'm going to want to raise this 5th wheel up a little bit. So I think before we tackle the rear fenders here, we're going to do that here next, because I'm going to want to paint up underneath the 5th wheel and do all that stuff. It's going to need time to dry, so we're going to go ahead and get that 5th wheel pulled off of there, get the riser fabricated for that, and get that stuff painted, and then we're going to get back to putting fenders on. Alright, so first thing first, let's go ahead and get these fenders out of our way. So here's what we're going to use to build our risers. This is 3/8 wall, 3-inch tall by 6-inch wide rectangular tubing. I've got one side marked out on each of these here and center punched where I need to drill the holes for the bolts for the 5th wheel to go through. Alright, and here's now a pretty neat little trick I learned from the YouTube channel JC Smith Projects. Rather than trying to remember a bunch of measurements and then mark them out exactly, put a piece of masking tape over your tape measure and then mark your measurements. So we have our pattern here with the holes that we need to drill. They're marked on the masking tape, and then this is our distance from the center, or from the edge to the center of the holes this way. So I've got that one marked out there. And then because you have a radius on this square tubing, it's hard to get an accurate measurement. So what you do is you just take a square, put it up against your tubing, and then you can take your tape measure and butt it up, and then there's your measurement. This is also really nice for just trying to get to quick check this here. You can set it on one way, and you can see that all of our marks line up just right to the center punches. Then we can flip the tape measure around the other way, check it again, and we can go ahead and drill this out. We're going to use the mag drill for this, because I really like using these annular cutters for this thick seal. It's the way to go. But you take this center pin here, see if get you in there. Take this center pin here. Line that up on your center punch and you will drill your hole exactly where you want it. Right there. Turn the magnet on. Drill on. This is supposed to pop these out. Sometimes you gotta grab them. Alright, now we turn the magnet off. Move it to our next hole. So that's one side drilled out there. Now I just gotta flip these over and drill the other side. You can really see just how nice of a chip them annular cutter bits make. That is definitely the way to go for thick steel like this. Alright, now I'm not done with these here yet, but I wanted to check and make sure that I drilled this just perfect, and I got the 2 outside bolts through. I gotta go pick up some more hardware, but just make sure that they all drop through into their holes, and they do. I gotta tell you that trick's pretty awesome. I can't believe I never thought of that myself, but I had to drill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes twice for each piece, so that's 12, 24 times I had to drill this. I had to drill 24 holes in the same pattern, and yeah, I mean, if you got to drill repeatable stuff like this, takes all the thinking out of it. Just mark it out, make sure it's right on your tape measure, and then you got the pattern. You don't even have to think about it, just go through and mark them and drill them, and yeah, it's the way to go. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cap the ends of this. It's going to give this a little bit more rigidity, plus keep all the dirt and stuff out. I did want to go over real quick just a couple things on this. So I wouldn't use anything less than 3/8. I would say 3/8 would be the minimum. Another thing you can do if you wanted to make it even stronger yet is find some bushings or some pipe or something that's got a 5/8 or 11/64 inside diameter, and then you'd actually drill your holes to the outside diameter of that, and then you could slide those in here and weld them, and that would make this a lot stronger yet. But I really don't think it's necessary. The box shape's going to be stronger than an angle iron, and this is 3/8 angle iron is all that attaches this to the frame of the truck. So this is already going to be stronger than this. So by the time we cap this in, which is going to keep it from being able to do any kind of twisting or anything like that, you know, this is going to be even stronger than this is, so there's not really any worry. I did the same thing on my other truck about 5 years ago, and it's been just fine. I'll take you guys out there and show you. Okay, now granted this one's on a long slider, so it's a longer tube, but it's the same thing. It's 3" by 6" rectangular tubing with 3/8 wall. The end's capped here. And then on this end, I made it longer and I cut a triangle out of it and bent this down to make a little bit of a ramp. It doesn't really help a whole lot because when you go to
hook onto a low hook trailer, it runs into this right here anyway. It doesn't want to go up, so it doesn't really help. So I'm not going to go through the effort on the other one here, but you know, there it is. There's one that's done the same way after about 5 years and had absolutely no issues with it. So
alright, so I got my end caps welded on. Still haven't went and picked up any argon yet, so just went ahead and stick welded it. You're not going to confuse it for a MIG weld, but that's not half bad. Happy with that. Let these things cool off a little bit and then we'll get them painted up. Alright, so the last of the fenders are on the truck here now. Fifth wheel height's not crazy high, it's about 48 inches. We'll also mention that that's not necessarily the best way to raise a fifth wheel, but it will work. The best way to raise a fifth wheel is to change out the legs for taller legs. And I do eventually want to put a slider on this one. This is a fixed fifth wheel. A number of guys have asked if this fifth wheel position is going to work for me, and most likely it will. The center of the fifth wheel is about 3 inches behind the center line of the axle, which really should be just about right for this setup. Don't really know why it was in that position before, because I don't believe that came off of a pusher axle truck, but that should be ballpark where it's going to need to be, but I really don't know until I get a loaded trailer hooked up to this and put it on a scale and axle it out. But if I need to move this, it'll mean I'll need to drill new holes down here and slide the whole thing and then re-bolt it. But like I said, I just don't know until I have a loaded trailer on it. So I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close enough for now. And right at the moment, buying a new slider assembly with tall legs on it isn't something I really want to spend the money on right this moment. So this will work for now. Now it's a beautiful day outside today, and I'd kind of like to grab the hopper bottom trailer and bring it over here, back it onto the concrete, crawl underneath it and get it all greased and checked over here before fertilizer season starts up, because once farmers get in the field, it's going to be all I can do to try to keep up with them. So I need to get that trailer checked out, and that would be a nice way to end off this video, would be to use this truck to grab that trailer and bring it over here to the shop. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. Thank you. Have a great day.